Hi, and welcome back to the Rachel Albee Show. So today, again, I'm going to be sharing something that's very hit home for me. It's something that's made an impact and has blessed me. So I want to share it out. And it's the concept of congruency. What I mean by that is it's the idea of who you are behind closed doors, by yourself, alone. Does it look like the same person that's out at church on Sunday, at the restaurant, with the friends, to your kids? Do you look like the same person? And I ask that question because it's amazing how much it can impact so many different things. It's all been true, right? So like when you were growing up and your parents, they may have had things in their life that they would say, like, don't follow what I don't follow what I practice, but follow what I preach. And let's be serious. We all walked away with the same crazy that our parents have, right? It's a matter of whether we embrace it or try to change it or to minimally dial it down, but we're all there. We just own it. Just own. You're either very much like your parents in the way that your parents are like them, or you're very much like your parents, but in a like trying to get away from it kind of way. Like, it just is the reality of what it is, and you can see it and you can embrace it, you can see it and you can try to harness it for good or change it, but like ultimately it's there, right? But we've all heard that truth, right? We've all seen our parents say one thing and then do another. And you know when that's true, right? Like you've lived it, you've been that kid that saw that happen. You've seen that juxtaposition of words to actions, and you feel it. Like even when you haven't even seen or been privy to a situation, you know exactly what it is. You had the impact. The follow is there. And the same is true that I find with my kids, right? Even if I don't say something or do something in front of my kids, even if it's a mannerism that's silly, right? Like even if it's just like how I am particular about how my shoes fit or whatever it is, even if it's not showcased and shown to the kids, it's felt and I see it in them. And the reason I bring this up and why it's so key for me is congruency isn't just about actions that other people see. It isn't just about words that other people see. Congruency and what has impacted me greatly is I can't teach them to be a person who celebrates life and embraces themselves and has opinions and shares those opinions and speaks respectfully to themselves and forgives themselves and celebrates the learning process that is making a mistake and then getting up afterwards. And I can't teach them to be any of those things and actually do anything if I'm not also that thing. I can't expect my kids to forgive themselves when they fail, to see the joy and learning from a mistake and not being defeated by it, but instead getting up and taking that lesson and moving forward. I can't teach them that. They won't be that if I'm not that. If I am not congruent in how I talk to myself about myself, if I don't give myself grace, if I don't speak and congratulate and celebrate my wins instead of just seeing my failures, if I don't have joy in the small things, all of those things, if I am not that person, I can't teach that to my kids. If I don't want my kids to be a person who's in their 30s just figuring out so much of what I don't know, then I can't continue to be that person. I can't continue to be the person who degrades myself in my own brain. I can't be the person who sees all the failures, all the broken pieces and misshapen parts of what make me up externally and internally. I can't be that person because I cannot take that reality being true for my kids. And it doesn't matter what I say. It does not matter what I preach, because what is lived is what will be learned. That's the reality of congruency, right? We all know it's true. And maybe you don't have kids, but you know what it was like to be that kid. You do have people you care about, even if that person isn't you. But it should be. So I got in here to just talk about congruency and the reality of the impact that it really has. Even if you think that no one else sees because you're alone, hidden away inside your own brain even, it does have an impact. It has a fallout. It has a fallout on the people around you. It has a fallout on the people you love. It has a fallout on your kids, on your family, on your friends. If you don't want another person to think about themselves how you think about yourself, if you don't want another person to have made the mistakes and hurt that you have, you've got to be that heel for yourself. You've got to stop thinking of yourself in those ways, because you can't help another person come to that place. You can't teach another person to be that. If you haven't done it yourself, that is the beautiful thing about congruency, and the incredibly difficult thing about it. But the great part is you don't have to be perfect to be congruent. You just have to be in the process. You have to be transparent about it. So I can be a congruent person to my kids, saying, I'm learning this process. I catch myself and I'll say something like, oh, there goes mommy messing up again, in a playful kind of way. But the reality is the situation, that's not playful. That's not cute. I wouldn't take it if somebody else said a degrading negative joke towards me. I would tell them that's unkind. But I do it to myself. And I don't like seeing my darling 7-year-old, and I have already seen it happen, where a mistake is made. And even verbally, I have heard her berate herself. And I never do that out loud, outside of a passing joke. But it doesn't matter that I don't do out loud, and that is the beautiful evilness and wonderfulness of congruency. Who you are on the inside, in that quiet moment inside your own brain, or a quiet moment in that room, whatever it is, that person, that truth, it's seen more than you think it is. So I challenge you today to think about your congruency, to think about owning your process, to being real where you are. It's okay to be flawed, because guess what? We all are. Like, if anybody in the entire world ever says that they haven't messed up, or they aren't failed, or they are full of not truth. Nope, not truth. Because we all are flailed. We are all failing. We are all messed up. But the only way to get better is from a failure in learning, from a failure in getting up and continuing to try. So just own your process. Own it to your friends, your family, your kids. It's a glorious thing to speak to the fact that you're still learning. Because you know what? We all are. You're just being honest about it. Anyway, I hope this was able to uplift or challenge you in any kind of way like it did to me. I hope you have an amazing and a blessed day.